welcome to another millinery class. I'm excited to be able to do this video for you today. It's been a long while since I did a recording, simply because I've been quite ill. I was down with COVID, and when I came out of it, I had to plan for the red carpet event. So it's been like a roller coaster of events, but finally I think I'll be able to start doing tutorial videos. So first off, I would like to welcome you to this channel. If you're watching us for the first time, if you are a subscriber of the channel, I'd like to say a massive thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you've not subscribed yet, I'll urge that you do subscribe. We realized that a number of people watch our videos but have not yet subscribed. It's about 10% of our visitors or our viewers are the only ones who have subscribed. So at this point, I'm going to urge you to please subscribe and hit on the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime a new video is uploaded. Your support keeps us going, and it always encourages us to come up with new videos that will benefit you. So someone had left a message for us in our message section saying she wanted us to do a few things. So I'm going to try to roll out those tutorials bit by bit as and when I can. I may be able to do one of those videos today. So today I'm going to be doing the knotted hairband, and then we take it from there today. So I have my Alice band. Preferably my Alice band should have been in ivory, just like my Sinamay, but I happen not to have that in that color, so we'll improvise as usual. So I have an Alice hairband, I have my uhu glue, I have my ribbon, all right, I have my ribbon, and I have some Sinamay. Now the Sinamay I'm using today are remnants I've used from a previous project, and I realize I'll be able to make justice with it in this tutorial. So I'm going to be doing that in a minute. I've gone ahead to work on my Sinamay, and I have done the knot, and I'm going to show you how to get this effect in a minute. All right, so the piece I used was about this shape, but not this size. It was about this shape in a triangle, and on one leg of the triangle that was around 21 inches. So one leg like that was 21 inches, the other leg was 21 inches, and the base was 34 inches. All right, you don't have to cut a triangle. The shape of my Sinamay happened to be a triangle because, like I said, it was a remnant. So what the piece is what is left of a project I had done previously. That's why it came like that. But if you're going to be working from a bigger piece, I would advise that you cut on a bias. As usual, you know what a bias is when you cut not on the cross grain, but you cut, you know what I mean, like that, and where you can get the stretch. That is the main thing you have to consider when cutting your Sinamay. So it should be quite big. All right, it should be quite big. The bigger it is, the more effect you get. But I hope I'll be able to get a good effect with this one, though my Sinamay was not that big, but I hope I'll be able to get a good effect with it. So for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to show you what I did. So you get your steam iron. Make sure your iron is on steam and it's plugged in and it's hot. All right, then you iron it, and as you iron, you stretch your Sinamay, because we need a stretch in there. So stretch your Sinamay, and anytime you apply a steam iron onto your Sinamay, it softens it up, and you'll be able to work with it. But you have to work with it very quickly, unless you have a continuous steam that is blowing onto your Sinamay that keeps it softened for a very long time. But if you don't have that and you're working with a steam iron, you have to be very quickly and as fast as you can. That was why I was not able to put you through this process, but I'm going to make a demonstration here for you to see exactly what I did. All right, so you're going to put your steam iron onto it, and as you do that, it's going to soften the Sinamay, like I said. And when you do that, you'll be stretching your Sinamay as well. Now when you finish doing that, you're going to fold your Sinamay in this way. All right, and then you fold this edge like that, just to secure the rough edges, and then we don't have any sharp edges. Now you're going to be having a shape looking like this. Whilst it's like this, put a steam iron onto it, stretch it to, you know, to the point where you see that you've stretched it enough. Okay, so you stretch it, and when it's very soft, you find the center of your strip. Quickly find the center of your strip and make a knot. All right, and this is what you get here. but you have to work as fast as you can. Like I said, because you don't have a continuous steam that is blowing onto your Sinamay, you have to work quickly because it dries up and hardens up again. So the only time you can make a knot is when it's soft, and that is when you've used steam to get it to that stage. Okay, so I'm going to set that strip on the side, and I'm going to come up with my Alice band. Now you can see that my Alice band is not ivory, so what I'm going to do is to wrap around some ivory ribbon like we usually do with other classes. If you've seen other tutorials, I'm just going to put a wee bit of some uhu glue on the end, and then we start wrapping. The reason why you have to wrap is it will hide the base color from seeping through the Sinamay, and that's what we don't want to do. If I had an ivory Alice band, I would have gone straight to it without doing any wrapping. So I'm going to go away and do the wrap, and we take it from there. All right, I've done the wrap. As you can see, I like the outcome of it. Don't be worried about this ends because we're going to finish it off properly when we get there. So the next thing is to get a knot position onto it. Make sure you center it. At this point, you can choose to put the knot on the side and then work from there, or center it, but I prefer to center it. Okay, I prefer to center it, so I'm going to center it, and then we carry on from there. Push my Alice band through this loop here. All right, push it all the way so you see that it's centered. Okay, be sure that you center it. Then you're going to start working our way down on the legs of the Alice band. Okay, but be sure to see that it's centered first. All right, after you have slid in the Alice band through this curve here, you realize that if you put the other half of your Sinamay on the legs of your Alice band, is quite wide on this end. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to do a folded effect towards just the end here. Okay, so that's what I'm doing now. Just try and fold it in, okay, so that we have this bit here as narrow as possible and lining up to the edge of your Alice band. Now what I'm going to do now is to cut that bit off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. Okay, set it on the side. And then what I'm going to do next is to get my ribbon and wrap this end here together with it. All right, so when you've gotten your folded effect, what I'm going to do next is to apply some uhu glue onto this end here. Okay, and then I'm going to bring them together. I'm going to bring them together like that. Now what I have done next is 1.5 inches ribbon that we used to wrap up our Alice band. I had some left, so I'd ironed it into 2 equal halves, and when you do that, you're going to be getting one half like this to be 0.75. okay, the next step is to open up your fold like this, and then put this end here through it. Leave a little working length on this end here to just fold it to the back. Okay, so you have it like that. Now I'm going to wrap the ribbon right around that place a couple of times, and then I'm going to cut it off, and then we secure it properly at the back here. I'm going to stitch that bit in and make sure that it's catching both onto your Sinamay and then onto the ribbon so that it stays in place. All right, so basically we are done with the knotted headband. The next thing I wanted to do was to add some pizzazz to the headband. All right, so I got some ostrich feathers and I've shaped it up. I didn't want to use the whole structure of the ostrich feathers, so I've shaped it up, and I have a little feather here in yellow that I'm going to be adding to it as a combination. So what I'm going to do next is to find a fold where I can tuck in the ostrich feather. I think it's rather on this side, yeah, much better. So I've just tucked it in. I'm going to drop it down, all right, and then try and stitch here to keep it down. But I'm going to also apply some little uhu glue here to keep this tucked in for good. And then I'm going to drop this yellow feather on the spine of my ostrich feather as well. All right, so I'll have it looking like that, and basically that will be it for our knotted hairband. So you don't really have to do the feather bit if you don't want to, but I think that it was a bit plain, just with the Sinamay knotted without anything else. So I've just added a simplistic effect of feather arrangement, and that's basically it. So like I said, I was going to drop a little uhu glue here in the corner to keep this tucked in for good, and then I'll do a little stitch here to keep this lying in this direction the way I want it, and then drop this yellow feather on the spine of the ostrich and then tuck that in as well. And basically that will be it, and I'll bring it back to wrap up. All right, so this is what I have done. I realized in the end that lining up the yellow feather onto the spine of the ostrich didn't really look good, so I just did a cross effect, rather did a few stitches here and here, and then just pushed this feather over it. So basically this is it from all ends. I've just also attached a handmade sticker in here for packaging effects. Basically that's. So we've come to the end of today's tutorial. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit on the like button, and don't forget to subscribe as well if you've not done that already. Someone had also reached out to me asking if they could join our session. Our sessions are mainly for Nottingham women, unemployed women, stay-home moms, women on low income living in Nottingham, UK only, as that applies to just our face-to-face sessions. We are thinking of doing virtual classes soon, and that will be done on Zoom. If that is something you would like to be part of, just keep watching out for more information and details on those classes. They will be paid, obviously, and some will also be a free session, but most of them will be paid sessions. So if you'd like to be part of our classes, just keep watching, and then when it takes off, you get to know. So until we meet again in our next class, have a brilliant day.